welcome again to One Big Thing, a KAC legislative update. This week's update, obviously, we have arrived at first adjournment, and so the legislature has wrapped up the first major part of the legislative session. They will return on April 10th for the veto session, but it's anticipated that they will only be in on April 10th and April 11th before they wrap up for good for 2025. I first want to start by thanking everyone for being involved this year in the KAC legislative work. It takes a lot of people to get the things done that we get done legislatively. All of the information that you provided, all of the people that were responsive when I requested information or when there were questions from legislators. I want to let you know how much I appreciate the work that you've done this year to help us all be successful. So now let's look at a little bit of what happened. And the focus has to be on the tax policies that did not pass this week. I'll talk first about House Concurrent Resolution 5011. This was the resolution that used to be Senate Concurrent Resolution 1603, which would cap property tax valuation increases at 4%. This this resolution rather, passed the Senate on a 27-13 vote after reconsideration. It initially failed in the Senate on a vote of 26-14. Remember, because it's a constitutional amendment, it needs 27 votes to pass. So it failed on Wednesday on a vote of 26-14, but the next day they reconsidered that vote and it passed with the minimum number of votes, 27, in order to advance to the House. In the House, however, they did not have the votes to advance it. They only got 37 or 38 yes votes to pass this constitutional resolution. Again, because it's a constitutional amendment, it needs 2/3 majority, which would be 84 votes in the House. They got less than half of that in the House. What that will mean for how they'll move forward with property tax proposals remains to be seen, but it's safe to say that a valuation cap is not going to advance this year. They also looked at House Bill 2125, a bill that was negotiated through most of the week this week. That bill never even came up for a vote, largely because they did not have the votes in the House to pass it and may not have even had the votes in the Senate to pass it. What they do between now and April 10th on House Bill 2125 remains to be seen. KAC did not support the House Bill 2125 as it was advancing out of the conference committee. There were several logistical problems with that bill, including the election portion, as well as confusion over how the budgeting process would work in odd or even numbered years. We will continue to be alert to this and look for ways that we can assist the conference committee as they continue to work towards a potential resolution. The Kansas legislature did, however, pass some property tax relief through Senate Bill 35, which eliminates the 1.5 mils for building funds. That's only a small dollar amount for each individual taxpayer, but for the state overall, it's about $80 million a year that the state would lose in property tax revenues. This will be made up in the state general fund, but overall they are losing that $80 million, but it comes out to a fairly small dollar amount for individual homeowners. Like I said before, we will continue to monitor this as we wait for the veto session to come. That will be April 10th and 11th. They may drift into the weekend that weekend, but I would anticipate that they're only going to be here on the 10th and maybe on the 11th. That's all for now, but we look forward to talking to you in a couple of weeks when we get ready to wrap up the veto session. Thank you very much for following us along this year, and we look forward to keeping in touch with you about legislative matters in the future.